Beast, yeah, baby. You know I'm reckless. We stacking blue chips, my people buy the dip. Matt Black Lambo coming soon. Don't forget, sign the check.
Web3 breakfast. Fuck a Lexus, push a Maserati, keep a diamond Jesus on my necklace. I'm living reckless. Fuck a job, cash the check, grab the bag, hit the flight, we on the next one. Wife changing money. Just ask my honey, got a diamond on my face, I can't help it, I'm new money.
Web3 breakfast, wake and bake, appreciate the checklist, moderate the stage, perplexing everything you say, and not to mention, fuck, I think I rug. Maybe I should shrug it off, go touch some grass, perhaps some plug.
Web3 breakfast.
Web3 breakfast.
Web3 breakfast.
Well, I didn't quite time that out right. What's going on, everybody?
Yo, what's up, Jay? You are muted on Twitter.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, let me finish sending some co-host invites. I'm muted on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, you're back now.
Okay.
I was so sad, man, because we didn't get to hear the song on the other side.
Oh, really?
Sad.
Man, see, that's what happens when I got to go back to it. Look at this. I still don't have my screen up right. See, man, I miss you, Turbo. You got to come back.
I know.
Maybe come back.
I'm coming. You can blame it.
Give me back my turbo, Jay. Give me back my turbo.
I know, man. Hey, that's it. I need my guy running the switches, man.
Man, you know, it's just nice to have that energy. I mean, when you're just walking around blowing doors open and shit.
I'm telling you, man.
No big deal.
That's that big BDE. Just get that high off a good show.
Thank you.
Blast through the door. They open up for you when no one's around. Never once did it before. I'll tell you what. No, we're back to opening doors by ourselves again, but it's okay because we'll see you next week, Turbo. Very excited to have you back here in the Atlanta scene, baby. So I'm excited about this conversation today, and I think that a lot of people will be too. Value versus price. Like, how do we decipher value here in Web3? You know,
I love this.
Like, my my NFT, my widget NFT cost me this amount, so like it's worth that amount. No, it's not. Nope, not anymore. Not anymore. It's not. And that's the thing. Like, that's what we got to start talking about and thinking about is, the perception of the reality of value. Especially if PFPs don't come back. Like, I've been thinking, we've been saying PFPs were the beta test of what NFTs were. Like, can we even handle self-custody? And I think we passed. I think we're going to go back, to the drawing board, maybe reevaluate and recreate some things, obviously with some more safety and security in mind. Obviously, we can't unleash this to the masses with wallet drainers and all that kind of stuff. But I think we passed the beta test. And it was with PFPs. Obviously PFPs will always be a thing for your digital avatar, but it's time for NFTs to grow. So are we going to see these collections come back up? Not all of them. And even if they do, are they still worth, $1 million? Are they still worth, a 20,000 ADA? Are they still worth, Crow? I don't know what the value of a Crow was, I know some things that in the VeChain ecosystem that I have that are like worth dog shit now. So anyway, that's the topic of the day today, but we got to chop it up, baby. You got to hold it. You got to hold your thought right there. Because we got to get to the chop. So that was the tease. That was just the setup. That was all right.
That's messed up, man, because, well, I'm going to tell you how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because now, you gave me such a whirlwind of emotions, and now I got to hold it in. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm on a long trip, and there's like 100 miles to the next clean bathroom, and I got to do the number 2 that I'm already worried about. That's how I'm feeling.
And you know what the worst is? Like, when you've got that feeling like you want a little snack, you want a little food, you feel like you've run your way and you've held on long enough, and then all of a sudden it's that billboard for the Buc-ee's, and you're like, oh shit, now I gotta go 160 miles to get to the Buc-ee's. I don't care, we gotta hold out for the Buc-ee's because I want the Klatchkis, I want the beaver nuggets, I want the brisket sandwich. I mean, come on, man. Buc-ee's,
the fudge.
Buc-ee's is by far the best thing that ever happened to
Buc-ee's.
Yeah, Buc-ee's, man. You ain't never been to a Buc-ee's. You are not even living.
Come on. I'm a pilot's boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real old school
that's for the
road
truckers,
trucker.
Yeah,
that's for the goddamn truckers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my pilots out there. Shout out to all my CDL holders. I ain't never rode a truck, but I love riding past y'all and be like, oh, you already know, Jay.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
but hold on, but love. Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's? Do you know what a Buc-ee's is?
Man, Buc-ee's suckers. That's what I gotta say to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's ain't paying me. 7-Eleven, damn it.
Are you telling me? Okay, so 7-Eleven and Pilot are both sponsors
I like
of
them
yours.
quick. Look, man, I like them quick stores. To be honest with you, I like the store. I like the stores with 2 aisles. That's it. Okay. 2 aisles and everything behind the
Buc-ee's
glass.
is like a superstore.
I need this.
Yeah, the Buc-ee's
I know what Buc-ee's is, man. Come on. You know what? I know what Buc-ee's is.
If AI isn't purchasing his snacks from a guy that's
you the same type to try to tell me why.
With a laser gun through like 3 inches of glass. That's the only way AI love feels comfortable.
Man, I remember Wawa's first came to Florida. All I heard was all my freaking PA in New Jersey. Oh, you got Wawa subs in here. I mean, they're making this big deal. So, we get a 30 minutes lunch break. I'm like, man, I'm hungry. I'm starved. All right, Wawa's. What's special here? Oh, the hoagies. Okay. I get me a fill of cheese steak. They don't even got the hoagie cheese. They ain't got none of that stuff. Boo, Wawa, boo.
Boo, Wawa. Hey, pub subs. You got to go to get a public sub. The pub sub, man. That's the jam right there. Get them pub subs.
100%. This guy knows his shit. Publix, baby.
Come on, baby. This body was built on good food.
Publix, let's go.
Well, we do have Matthew with his hand up.
I would like to get
the Chop Shop has.
They're usually,
it's just.
That usually what we should do.
You can start talking about gas stations. This is why we got to be together.
I think the second rule of the show is there's no hands during the Chop Shop. Go ahead, Matthew.
Sorry about the hands, but the Buc-ee's thing is fantastic. They're bringing one to North Carolina. Let's effing go.
Let's go.
And I'm going to Mississippi to visit my in-laws for Thanksgiving week, and already preparing to stop and get some jerky, get some of those cookie dough bites. I'm just gonna pound one of those things in the car. It's gonna be great.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like an interesting
only in the car.
Anywhere
else but in the car.
Only if it's a grandma's nut bar or whatever.
Nut roll.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy for you. Like, we have one. I want to say it's up in Calhoun, Georgia, which is not very far from where I live. It's maybe 30, 45 minutes, just right up the road. So, like, and what's good is that I don't go. Like, usually we'll only go on a road trip. It's perfect for when you hit the road, especially in the morning. You're like, all right, man, we got enough gas to definitely get to Calhoun. So we are stopping at that Buc-ee's. And if you've never had a cheddar jalapeno kolache at a Buc-ee's, you are not living. I promise you.
Bro, listen, to all the people out there that have never seen a Buc-ee's, don't know what we're talking about. Like, this is a freaking experience. Like, this is like, imagine Walmart. Like, there's 400 gas pumps. The bathrooms, every single.
That's what I'm trying to say. Centralization. Centralization. All y'all talk about decentralization. Here y'all go with these corporate entities, juggernaut, and just you're putting Habibi out of business. Like, you can't have that. Man. Look, I love my gas stations here in Detroit, man. I support the small independent owners. It's the backbone of America. I don't want to see centralized. I'm like the federal. If you think about the Constitution, they gave the rights to the federal government. They gave rights to the state, and I believe in these rights, right? And so it's like the same thing when I look at these larger corporations. Like, bro, why would we want entities to get to that scale? We can collect on the.
Buc-ee's started as a store in Texas and randomly came up from the ranks just recently. So congratulations to Buc-ee's, greatest store ever, right?
Dude, the kolache.
They sing to you, bro. They sing.
Yeah. Dude, all I'm saying is this. Look, I hear you, and there's some things that I would like to bring up in this, but it would definitely get people extremely fired up and fueled, and we're not going to do that this morning. But I will say this, right, bro?
Can you give like a level 6? Or no, we got to go 100.
I'll tell you off. Yeah, I'll tell you off the show.
Okay.
Yeah, but and then if we can, we'll bring it back tomorrow. But AI, you can poop anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's like to be a shy pooper on a road trip. You know what I'm saying? And like, bro, like I'm all for small businesses. Bro, I'm not giving that up. I don't care.
If you
Shut
a
down,
shy
shut down
pooper, why you
every
traveling?
small.
Yeah, you just wait for the hotel,
What
man.
the
You
fuck?
I don't like
I-
to
just
poop
wait
in
for the hotel.
public.
Why are you
What the
traveling?
hell? Everybody
Why are you
got a
traveling?
shit. Oh man,
Oh,
this is what's wrong with people. This is what's wrong with
My name's Turbo
half these
Mated.
people walking around naked, the other half talking about I'm scared of shit. Oh God.
Yeah. Well, this is what you want me to sit here and be like, yeah, my name's Turbo Mated. I don't get out much. I can't really travel because I'm a shy pooper, and so I just spend all my days in the metaverse.
Launch a rocket on the fool. You hear me?
But I feel you. That's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing of being a truck driver sometimes, or driving long distances. It's like you gotta know the truck stops to be having the clean bathrooms, man. You just can't be going in there and having poop all over the stalls and everything.
Yeah.
Be trying to get some clean toilet paper, have poop on the toilet paper you're trying to wipe your own poop off with. You know what I mean?
All right.
I prefer the earth. I prefer the earth. You know what earthing is? That's when you grab.
Thank you, Turbo. I think we had to take him. It wasn't me, so I'm hoping that was either Turbo 7. But we did. Sometimes we just got to kill the. I don't like poop.
I'm just talking. I know it was
frozen.
Chaos in there, and I was talking on mute. So yeah, man, I was like wondering if we're gonna make it this last 2 minutes of the chop shop, because this is the wildest chop shop we've ever had.
Yeah,
you let a kid called Love off the chain, and Issues comes in off the chain, and then you know what I'm saying, it just.
Be frank.
Man, he gets me fired.
Be frank, man. Be frank. To be frank, he was frank about it. He was not messing around. We love you guys.
Be frank. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, Jay. Be frank is next, dog. Like when you talk about people that can host spaces and like people that you should grab that you want to get close to you that are gonna come up. Yo, Be Frank is up.
Let's go.
He still got, he's still knocking the dust off and learning a little bit.
I think he got them lazy apes.
He's doing the
used to mess with the lazy apes. I still have several. I got all my mutants too, waiting for those things to pop off. I cannot wait until they. Truth be told, I got a little glimpse of what the mutants are going to look like. Pretty cool.
I know, that's why I kept mine. Just for that. And and here's the thing, man. We're our space is above value. Sorry, guys. Everyone is unmuted now.
There we go.
Yeah, Matthew was like, well, Matthew's like, well, if I'm gonna get muted, I'm out of here. I believe in decentralization.
We love you guys. Let's get into the topic today. That's a great segue. Guys, thanks so much for joining us, the Web3 Breakfast. Appreciate you. This is a show for the community, by the community. So we want to talk about defining value in Web3, right? Like, what does value even actually mean? Because, you got a lot of inflated NFT prices that, might never get to where they were. You got a lot of dead projects that might never recover. And there's going to be reasons for that, right? It's because people are going to start to need to figure out what the value is, not just the price, because everybody understands the price, but the value, if they're not doing anything, there's no utility, what's the point?
See, that was the thing, man. I think that's how I had broke the matrix when I was a small child. Because from the time I was a kid, man, I realized that there is no value. There's no value. No value to anything in this world. The value is simply placed on the person who loves it. And it's whatever they give it. And then from there, it's whatever somebody else will give you for it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to do, man, when I was on the school bus, because I was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? I used to sell these hand-drawn pictures on pieces of paper. I'm not a very good artist at all. Like, I can't draw for nothing. But people would give me 50 cents for it. And that 50 cents, I could buy candy at the penny store, which had way more value than the pictures. And so I just kept on letting it go.
I like that. So, all right, let's open it up, guys. Remember, if you want to be a part of the conversation, just raise your hand. Everybody's got their own opinion. We got the one rule: don't be a douchebag, so no racist, sexist, homophobes, and no poop talk. We'll add that one in somehow.
On the metric of value, I just feel like it's what's of use, right? Like, for instance, if you were in a hole, in a deep hole, and it was too big for you to get out, would $1 million be useful to you? Is that of value to you? Well, not at the $1 million. Not if you can't stay on top of $1 million and get on top out of the hole, right? That $1 million doesn't really do much for you. So a rope would be more valuable than that $1 million. A ladder would be more valuable than that $1 million. Value is a perception. So I hear this talk a lot of times of people and what they bring as far as value levels. And I'm like, listen, inherently, if I didn't have value, people wouldn't follow me, right? But I store value because of the use case that I provided people. This is why my, things like follower counts and relationships are built and fostered.
But love, can I ask you a question? I gotta ask you this question. This is where it gets spicy, right? Because this is the problem. You hit it on the head, right? You said, if I had $1 million in the hole, right, would it be valuable? Would it be more valuable or less valuable than a ladder or a rope, right? And here's the thing, right? So if I'm walking by and I got a ladder and I see you in the hole and I'm like, yo, you can have this ladder for $1 million. It's a $7.99 ladder. I paid $8 for it, but I will give it to you right now for $1 million. And you're like, I'm not giving you $1 million for it. And I just keep moving. And everybody's like, oh, that's messed up. Turbo made it, saw AI Love in a hole. He had a ladder and he wanted $1 million for it. And I'm like, yeah, but it was AI Love's only way out. It was his only way out. And he had $1 million. And that ladder to me was the value at $1 million. Is that okay or is that wrong?
That's true. Like I tell people, if you think about money, man, if you think money is what makes you, you're sadly mistaken. Like money is nothing more than a form of currency. Currency is going to be stored in things of value. Mm-hmm. You get it? It's just the connectivity, man.
Right. Well, because think about Yuga.
Well, just
I want to make this one thing, and I'm gonna pass it.
Okay.
The digital art thing. I just want to make this one thing.
Yeah.
Because there's like the mutants, right? 5 ETH. How much money did it cost to really make that? How much money did it cost to distribute it truly? And then the value that they sold it at was so exponentially above that. And then you can't even hold it tangibly. Was that freaking even fair to begin with?
But what about the connections that are established through the people that have access to that? It's like a country club.
So it's an intrinsic value, right? Because at the end of the day, there's nothing backing it. There is absolutely nothing backing that picture of your monkey. It's just intrinsic value. What's the point?
Well,
and let me ask you a question: Would you invest in a project that had nothing behind it? Just a community of people that say, "Hey, what do we mean?" Party?
Many of them.
Yeah, but
no. Because what do we mean by invest, though?
Like you buy tokens. Would you buy tokens of a project that had no liquidity? Why? What would be the fucking point of it? Like, unless you're trying to buy a moon bag,
thinking about it,
that's one thing. But if the token has no liquidity backing it, why in the world would you buy it?
Because we were using terms like investment. I was like, oh, I'm investing in this NFT project that I know does absolutely nothing. And we had convinced ourselves that that's what we were doing. Mm-hmm. But really, we were just like, and that was my whole thing, right, bro? Like, I was just buying shit that I liked.
Yeah. Well,
that was the value to me.
Intrinsic.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the value to you. It's the value that's all that it is, and that's the exchange of price. And so someone is going to, and obviously, it's very clear the metrics of how a buy and a sell happen in our ecosystem. But somebody puts something up for a price, and it either sits there and it doesn't sell, or they accept an offer for something that they find to be reasonable. Right?
Shots fired. Yo, be frank. You have your hand up. Jay's trying to get him a Clay, and the guys doing those all.
I do believe it. I mean, yes, he is right. Though it is intrinsic, and I do fully believe that. But it's what kind of clubs are you in? Because there's certain clubs out there that it's willing to teach you to fish instead of cooking the fish for you, right? And I believe that that's where it's at. Because somebody in my shoes who doesn't have the education and learns from experience and is able to create connections, then that's more valuable to me to be a part of a club that's able to create those connections with people like IP lawyers or people who have built successful businesses. No matter what size of the business is, if they're open and they're running, they worked hard on it. They've obviously built a blueprint, a business plan and went through some hurdles, and they know some things that I don't. So if they're willing to share those experiences to help me further myself, then that's where the value is for me.
I would say, honestly, be frank, to be perfectly honest with you, like take Lau, for example, Lazy Apes. I mean, the trait group theory and like that whole model to me is light years and does far more for, you know, just the regular community member than most projects will ever do, right? They don't put that, like, that power into the community, say like, all right, like, you know, we all like this, you know, specific trait on our NFT, so we're going to get together, create a business, and now we got a rev share model that is just for us because we built this. Or you learn from other people that are entrepreneurs, and now you're like, okay, I can take my IP and create a beard oil line. I can take my IP and create a you know, a joint line, whatever. Like, so you can start to learn these. And I think, like, for example, like the community that you're in is done far greater than most communities have done to provide value. And to be honest with you, the barrier to entry to get into Lazy Apes is not that high. And you will get a really good entrepreneurial education from some of those trade group communities. Like, that is like unequivocal.
Oh,
go ahead, Turbo.
I wanted to say something there. Dang it.
No,
man, bro, this, like, there's so much, like, just so many thoughts that are just like hidden, you know, like, as we're talking about this, because I think about the journey, and, you know, and as we bring new people into, you know, into this world, right? You know, if you were here for the bull, you know what I'm saying, and then went through a whole bear, like, bro, this is my first bear, you know what I mean? Like, we make it out, like, dude, you couldn't have learned more lessons. But
Absolutely.
to think about all of these things of value and price, and, you know, because we talk about it, right? Like, we're always like, yeah, we're all gonna get together, we're gonna start this business, and then we never do, you know what I'm saying? Or like it just fizzles out because, like, there's something new and more shiny that comes, and we're like, well, let's put this on the back burner and we're gonna do this thing for right now, and it's just constantly just this.
Well, that's that is one of the problems, though, with the specifically our ecosystem, right? Because it does move so fast, and so if you pause to try to build something with kind of like what's an issue right now, by the time you do come to market, Web3 is, you know, it moves faster than every other industry you could imagine, and so like you kind of always have to be thinking next. It's 4D chess, not 3D chess. Go ahead, Issues.
Yeah.
Let Issues go.
Yeah, I was just saying, I buy into NFT projects knowing that they are highly speculative, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when I get into one, I know that, like, you know, I'm taking a risk with D-Gods, right? I bought in at the bottom. I think it's the bottom. I think, you know, Frank is probably going to come out with some bullish news, and it could possibly pump pretty hard. You know what I'm
shilling.
I'm not shilling. I'm not trying to shill. No, I'm just saying, I buy my NFTs highly. Now, I got my bags of investments like Bitcoin, Caspa, Ethereum, right? That's my bag that stay there. I believe in those. I'm a proof of work mag. I kind of like proof of work. Ethereum kind of went away from that. Kind of sucks. But either way,
I think I need to be paying attention to the D-Gods, because here's the deal. I got a little past history. They didn't let me into a party. I got a little vocal. Had a little, you know, thing with those guys. But at the end of the day, I do have a D-Gods hoodie, and it's very comfortable, and I really enjoy wearing it. So I can't be a poser. So I probably should get one just so that I can wear this hoodie, because I do love it, and like I want to wear it all the time. But I just feel like a poser.
Sunk cost fallacy.
See that?
The voice of reason.
So that's
the voice of reason.
Thank you, Matthew. Because I'm just like, man, look, I have my
did you see
opinions.
Gordon just bought one. Did
Yeah.
you see the one Gordon bought?
But I mean, but look,
It's
I
cool.
don't want to say anything bad about you guys. No, man, because I, you know what I mean. Like, I can't, like, the whole way that whole situation went down was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm like, bro, y'all ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw this young ass kid in New York. He's like, yo, bro, I just bought a $13,000 NFT. And I was like, yo, bro, I'm about to slap the shit out of you. What the fuck are you thinking? Dude, what are you fucking thinking right now? Remember when I took that kid down?
He was so
I had a
young.
whole conversation with him.
Young.
Dude. What the fuck are you doing buying a $13,000 NFT, bro? You help your parents pay for your college, bro. Like, and I schooled him up, and I'm not saying nothing bad, but I asked him, I'm like, yo, bro, why would you spend $13,000 on an NFT? Because I had to calm down. Whew, I need to calm down right now, because, like, this is how I felt on this kid. You know what I'm saying? And if you see me in a convention, sometimes I might approach you like this. I'm just passionate, right? But I asked him, I said, bro,
no, he's definitely more gentle. It was not as wild as you're making it seem.
Okay, cool. That's good, because in my mind, that's how it was.
You got fired up there. It's okay.
And but I asked him. He said, and his whole reason why he spent $13,000 on NFT, he said his value was, I believe in Frank.
Hey, that's the value. There it is. Nathan,
No, I mean, yeah.
Nathan, GM fam.
Hey, how you doing? You okay?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm glad I've managed to get some time to come over. I've not been over for a while. You all keeping well?
Oh man, we are we're thriving. Everything is just going well. You know, I like to say I'm drinking out of a fire hydrant right now, and that's good. You do some of your best work when you got nothing, but we're coming at you.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah, no, I just wanted to get kind of everyone talking about the kind of value in Web3.
Mm-hmm.
I think what a lot of people forget is value is perception. It is what you perceive it to be, whether that be in Web3 or anything else. And I mean, perception, that value runs through literally every form of life. It could be when you're at school, the local hard kid. You may never have seen the guy had a fight, but if everyone's calling him hard, you perceive him to be a tough kid. And it's perception. The value may be, well, actually, I want that kid around me so that I'm not going to get bullied. That's the value to you based on perception. And I think everything comes back to the dollar, to hard currency, ultimately. People perceive that to be valuable because it can be used to transact goods. And that perceived value goes right back to the beginning of time when, well, I've got a chicken. I'll swap 4 of my chickens for one of your cows because I perceive the cow to be more valuable than the chickens and I need the milk, not the eggs. And it might sound simple. When you're looking at Web3, in my opinion, is something you said earlier with the token. You perceive that token to be of value because you have that liquidity pool. If it had no liquidity pool, where's the perceived value? It would have none. With NFTs, you look at that perceived value as, well, actually, I think this is going to pump because of the team behind it or whatever, because of the marketing campaign. And that's kind of your perception of value. I mean, as of yet, there's no, it all comes back to the dollar, if you like. It's, well, am I at some stage going to be able to exchange this for a higher dollar value than what I initially put into it? I think if people were offering you guarantees and said, well, actually, we can guarantee this, now the perceived value of anything that you buy in Web3 is at far more higher because you've got that guarantee behind it. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, ultimately, crypto and Web3 is still incredibly, incredibly early. So there are still developments going on. There are still things happening behind the scenes. And I don't think, well, actually, I know we're not a million miles away from being able to use cryptocurrencies. I mean, I'm again, not a shield, but it's public knowledge. We're building a platform just like this. Whereas you will be able to use digital currencies, cryptos, and potentially even NFTs to buy products and get them delivered to your door all around the world. Now the perceived value of digital currencies changes. The perceived value of Web3 changes completely, because now it doesn't need to come back to the dollar. It can stay completely in digital currencies. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, there was an article that came out yesterday. We were going to do Crossfire on this, but then we ended up changing it to something else. But some people believe that we're going to shift over to a totally cashless society within the next 10 years. This would only
100%.
And the more that we can have opportunities like this, where you can use crypto as a currency, as a way to transact, like it's probably intended to. Obviously, we got to weed out some of the bullshit, but that's the end goal. And the end goal that we also have to realize is our health. And it is 9:30.
Yep.
I don't know if Coach is in the house. Coach ain't in the house tonight.
I looked. I was looking down there. There we go. Thank you. I put him on the car horn. That is definitely your sound effect, bro. That is your sound effect. Because when you talk, you're like a guy on a highway that's upset. like, you know what I'm saying? Like cussing the next person up beside them. Hey, healthy minds, healthy bodies, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Hey, this is Web3 Breakfast, the show by the community for the community. You know, we're just here chopping up. You want to be a part of the conversation? Please feel free to hit the request button. We'll bring you on up. Raise your hand. As long as you're not a douchebag, that's the only rules. No racists, no homophobes, no sexists, and we've now added no poop in there as well. And so that's fine. That's okay. But for right now, we have our healthy.
You can do that during the show. Just don't talk about it.
Fantastic. And so right now we're doing our healthy minds, healthy bodies, and healthy portfolios. So you're going to get up out of your seat, and if nothing else, just stretch. I got my dumbbells ready. I am so happy to have these dumbbells back because I want big shoulders.
I'm going to move.
I know you keep forgetting them.
I'm going to move them to the car the moment I get home. I'm going to set myself a reminder so that whatever.
Yeah. If everybody could just... Yeah, and then if everybody could send Jay a message to get his dumbbells, that'd be fantastic. Hit that button. Let's go.
All right.
I got eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Web3 breakfast, Jay Chains is the host. Good morning. What's up, Jay Chains? Turbo made it co-hosting. Yeah, they do their thing. If you savvy Web3, GM. Grab a plate in a seat. Let's begin. If you got some to say,
it's your opportunity right now. You can be making results or you can make excuses. Come on.
Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start to talk, you gon' stay to the end. Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start to talk, you gon' stay to the end. Monday through Friday, we got the thorough 10 a.m. Eastern Spaces with the purpose. All about the community focus, they deserve it. Come and speak your mind with no regrets, but you serve us. Pizza on Friday, working off midway. Get the blood pumping, Web3 music is thumping. I got eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Web3 breakfast, Jay Chains is the host with the most.
All right, retweet that room.
All right.
You want to come talk, man? Just raise your hand. Get on up here. What's up?
We need to get that thing uploaded on TikTok immediately and get some TikTok dances. And so we can get a trending Web3 breakfast TikTok dance.
Oh, so somebody's got to do. All right, here's the deal. Oh, remember we wanted to do a giveaway for that Jets Pizza gift card that they sent me.
Oh yes.
So whoever invents the best and sends the best, and you can DM it. You can join our DM group. All you got to do is ask. Just when you retweet the space, just also make a little comment there saying "add me to the chat group." Whoever submits the best egg, bacon, and waffle dance gets a $50 Jets Pizza gift card. Maybe we'll do that. What do you think?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Is that something anybody wants to do?
I'm doing it, and I know AI Love's going to do it because he actually is like a dancing queen. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude can surely.
What? What did you say? What? I ain't no dancing queen now. Get that right.
He's a dancing queen.
Shots fired.
When I seen it, it's funny because when he said that, I seen his portfolio picture, and that's what I thought at first. I was like, "Dog, did Turbo just come out drag right now?" And I was like, "Shocked." I'm not a dancing queen.
He's got a glow to him. He's got he likes to move. All right, Matthew. Let's go, Matthew, and then Modern Canadian. GM fan.
GM, guys. I think the only guys and gals. I think the only two things that we need to remember about how we define value in this space is one, just like somebody said previously, a good value is a state of mind, right? It's an internal perception of how you perceive something. So if I get something, if I am part of a group and I really like that group and I resonate with that group, then my value for that group is going to be higher than other people's, regardless of what the price of that is. And then the other one is that price is what you pay and value is what you get. So you can pay whatever you want for something, but if you get incredible value out of it, then it's very, very much more worth the price than you paid. And if you don't get any value out of it, then it's certainly not worth what you paid. So I just think those are two really important things to consider. And a third bonus one that is a little counterintuitive, but it applies pretty well throughout, is the happiest customers pay the most. So when you see people nickel and diming you for things, or you're negotiating and like you have all these blur farmers and stuff, that sounds like a massive headache. So the people that pay the most for things typically have an easier mindset of how to spend money and how to embrace money in some sense. And so I always found that as a counterintuitive law, that the happiest customers pay the most.
That's really interesting. But it makes sense.
Yeah, I love
when you
that.
think about it. That makes a lot of sense. Very interested. Modern Canadian.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
GM.
I was going to just piggyback off what Crypto Magazine was saying. When it comes to like the fiat, for example, it's only worth what we believe it's worth, right? When you lose trust in the economy, just like, Venezuela or other countries that failed, when you lose trust in the government, then, it's no longer worth anything. And I think Web3 projects I think Web3 in general is just kind of in this, fuck around and find out. For all the projects that fail will bring like projects that will succeed, right? You need these projects to fail because then the new projects coming out will learn from these failures.
100%. And it's like any other business though, right? Like restaurants, typically, if you don't make it past the first year, you're going to fail. There's a lot of industries that have that threshold where, you're either a viable candidate for success or not. Nathan, what you got?
Yeah, cheers, bud. It was just something that I just thought of. It was a post that we made the other day, actually. And when you're talking about this value, we looked the other day at things you could buy and what that would have got you in Bitcoin if you bought it at the time they come out. And we looked at, like, for example, Beats Solo headphones. Now, when you bought them back in 2010, they're probably in the bin now. They had a value for a certain period of time. If you had spent that amount that you spent on those Beats Solo headphones in 2010, today, you would have if you spent it on Bitcoin, you'd have $106 million in your bank. Back then, the value of Bitcoin, people perceived it to be a lot less, but they perceived Beats headphones to be a lot higher. Now you can look back and go, whoa, why didn't I put that into, now that's in the bin. I could have had $160 million. And that applies to so many things.
Oh man. Back in no. Don't.
No, I want to disagree with him. I want to disagree with Nathan.
No, listen, man.
Okay.
Listen, really quick. Like back in that time frame, I lived in Colorado, and we used to, for weed, people say, "Man, would you take Bitcoin?" And we'd say, "No, man, that's for drug dealers and pirates. I don't want it." Could you imagine, like,
bro? But this is the thing, right? It's always that, like,
be in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
But it's always that what if. And here's the deal with those Beats headphones, right? If you left your Beats headphones in the box when you bought them then, and you never took them out, right? And you held on to them for, another 20 years, they could be worth millions of dollars.
What, unused?
We've seen Nintendo games.
Unused original.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beats headphones from, and you don't know, because we don't know what's going to get value in the future. We don't know what it's going to be, right? Like you said, we all thought that Bitcoin was going to be, people didn't see it having value.
Yeah.
And then later down the road, it did. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead, Matthew. Yep.
I was just going to say, a crazy example of this is the American Apparel selling iPod, like the original iPods or like the iPod Nanos for like $350, almost 1.5 times what they were worth. But they're making it a 20-year-old vintage thing because, hey, they were cool 20 years ago and now they're capitalizing on it. So exactly to your point, if you would have kept one in the case, you could have sold one for probably 2 times what you paid for it. But I don't know if that's worth the 2x on not being able to listen to an iPod.
Can you still buy an iPod?
You can at American Apparel for $350, but for you, Jay, I'll make it $400 because I'll sign it, and that's how we arbitrage.
No, yeah, you could still.
No, I'll give you $450. I'll give you $450 right now.
Man, look, they got looks like on Walmart for $200, $180. You can Apple 6th generation 80 gigabyte, whatever those things are called, iPod Classic, MP3 audio.
Well, I mean, I just want and I definitely just wanted to kind of challenge Nathan a little bit because he's big brain. If you guys are not following Nathan over there, Crypto Magazine, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
But
that's a Nessie. What are we doing?
Dude, he hit it on that. Two things he hit on the head with his branding, and that was that and the open minds thing, like that. Go ahead, Nathan. I'm sorry.
I was going to say I completely see what you're saying. I mean, I don't know whether anyone would value the Beats headsets today are over $106 billion. But I think equally, I think if Bitcoin crashes in price in, I don't know, another 10 years and it's, I don't know, worth $1 each, again, the value there is completely different. So things change constantly. But I was only using that as an example to, like, what you value something at today isn't necessarily what its value will be tomorrow or next week or next month. And that's where I think Web3 is very young at the moment. The perceived value is very little. Back then, your headsets was valued more than what the Web3 space was. But now that value is building in the Web3, and people are coming up with different scenarios, different ways of actually offering that perceived value back to people in a stable way.
Yeah. Now, do you think that then also applies to, say, the crypto world, right? Where, you're starting to see, man, I just lost my train of thought. I saw the screen hop and it just made me lose my train of thought. Sorry. Damn it. What did you end with? Because yeah. So with the volatility of the market, with how young it is and stuff, right? And so as we see, even the crypto markets, and NFT, obviously, because it's I would say it's in its infancy, right? Like if we just literally got through the beta test, like we got a long way to go. But with the crypto world itself, like, we're going to see the volatility shake out. Like as it gets older, that ecosystem becomes more stable. And so I think that also plays into, that same kind of value thing, right? Because now Bitcoin should be, I mean, if it's going to get, to close to $200,000 in this next bull run, imagine where it's going to be, 2030, 2035, 2040. Like only time can tell. Like it's going to hit $1 million at some point in our lifetime, I would assume.
And I think, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Bruce.
That's price. Right. Now, but what I'm saying, like the whole thing, why it relates is because of the value of it, right? Now, people are bitching and griping about it at $300,000 or $30,000 right now, when the potential very, very realistically is to go to $1 million. And so, like, the value of it right now is undiscovered unless you understand what's happening.
Well, I mean, and here's the thing, right? Like, this is where mental health is so important. And when we talk about value, right? Because when we get excited about things, we can allow our emotions to cloud our judgment about, the value of things, right? Or even like being in, I'm saying, like, oh, this is definitely worth $600 because of X, Y, and Z, even though it's all based on emotions in the moment right now, the hype, bro. Like that was, and maybe we could talk about this, another time, because we were kind of chatting a little bit in the car. The hype, man, how much does the hype give value to everything that's going on, right? And like we make poor decisions based on these high emotions and these hype situations. And, I think it's something to talk about. But Dr. Bruce, you had your hand up. Thank you for coming in, family. How you living?
Man, you guys want to talk about value? Let's talk about undervalued, super dope NFTs titled When Lambo. Holy shit!
Love it.
You want to talk about value? Bang for your buck. Go get you a copy of that.
When Lambo. We should play that soon.
I'll allow it.
Welcome to Shill, your project.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Hi, guys. I just came to say hi.
Hey. How you doing,
man?
My NFT, no one else is. It's all good. I'm making money regardless, you cocksuckers.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Bruce, Dr. Bruce, what's
Coming
up,
from
baby?
the ropes, baby.
Hey, B. Frank, what's good?
B. Frank, what's up, man?
I guess that needs to be added to the list now. Anyways. so what's the? I know you asked the questions around here, but I have a question. Is what's the value of NFT if that club teaches you how to build $1 million business or build a business when you go from being a worker from 9 to 5 to being a business owner and having that business mindset? Then what's the value of that to you?
Invaluable. Like that's that became the cost of your education, right? Whatever it cost you to get into that club, that to me.
So what you're
go ahead.
I was just going to say, so what you're saying is that, if you see something that you believe to be valuable, and then you take said money or crypto or however to make that exchange to get that valuable thing, that you're then taking action to add value to this thing that you believed was valuable. Is that what you're saying? Because like, is that not what we were trying to accomplish? I mean, I know we talk about like the PFP beta being over, and it's like, man, like we have only begun to scratch the surface, because that's truly the essence of like these of what the projects should be, in my opinion, right? Like if we're talking utility, because we hear it from all these projects, man. Beast follow beast. They do, like when, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's beneficial for one.
When you get yours, and then you just keep posting about it, and that's how it works. But when you just
but I mean, but we only do it when it's exciting, but we don't continue, right? In business, and these ideas take long time to put together. You know what I'm saying? We have to continue to, you know what I'm saying? I can definitely say I'm guilty in the lazy apes. You know what I mean? Like I was heavy in it, you know what I'm saying? Like my buddies were doing it. We were running around. And then, you know, like liquidity continued to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And we quit hanging out and we quit doing it. And then, you know what I'm saying? And now I have this NFT. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, this is not any value in it. Yeah, because I quit giving it, like I quit putting my actions in, because it's a community thing, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And I think that's where leadership like comes in, right? Because, you know,
but that's the whole thing about those self-managed organizations, that it's screw the leadership. That's the whole thought process, is because the leadership is too centralized. Like, why are you going to take orders? Why are you going to take orders from one person who, take the beast, for instance? Like, I got a ton of beasts, man. I love what they look like. I love the ethos behind it. I love, like, or when I got into it, now does it, you know, is it as like appealing as it once was? No, it's not.
But there's a lot I had this.
You know,
James, I had the same conversation with Raph last night, right? Like, dude, you know, with it being a decentralized sort of effort, you got to think there's a lot of different faculties at play, right? Especially when you're hyper, you're anticipating, you're intruding on somebody's market. You know, you got the greatest and biggest buzz, right? Like, there's a lot of things that go into, you know, the surface level of an NFT product. This shit is business on like any level that we've ever experienced before.
Right.
If you're not prepared for it, if you're not prepared, if you're not set up for that, if you don't have the right pieces in place, if you have people that are just there for money, you know, and clout and attention, you know, these are all things that can lead to a toxic downfall of not just one project, but all projects, 100%. Right? And so it comes with the ability to sit back. And here's the challenge to that. Most of the community members that you're meeting, you don't have a chance to meet in real life. So these levels of interactions are based on a trust metric that is valued over a PFP profile. You know what I'm saying? And basically where someone has the ability to sway in front of the audience. Because I know plenty of people that, you know, will get in a project and, oh yeah, I'm a part of this project. But the minute some money comes from another project, they want to go jump and ship. Oh, and then try to demand more money or extort somebody, you know, that's running something that they're trying to put together, just building out a dream and providing people with tools. And they want the community to be more in control. And that was the original message. And that was the original concept. But when you put people in leadership roles and position, it gives a aesthetic view from the outside audience that this person is closely related or associated or has that level of trust or commitment from another person. And then it comes to a position of what do you do if someone gets out of pocket that you entrust into a leadership position, because now they can try to throw FUD on you because you're not giving them what they allegedly deserve or want, right? When it was all, you were broke at first, you didn't have no money, you know, you were excited to even get X, Y, and Z. Then we bring you in, we bring you a part of the community, we give you this leadership role, you get this power hunger, you don't know how to manage it because you've never been cool your whole entire life, you never had this your entire life, and people don't know how to manage that. Now that's bad management on leadership roles for not being able to put that threshold down. But when you got so many things coming at you, you're a founder, there's 4,000 people in your collection, bro. Like, my communication is ridiculous right now with most people, and I'm not even at that level, right? What happens when you get to that level and like having those people in place to manage and doing the vetting services that's required, especially when you get overnight success? And that's a challenge for anybody that's on that pedestal, I'll just say.
Yeah. Well, I definitely understand what you're saying there. Yeah, and I think that then becomes to answer your question right there, I love, is that then becomes an access, right? Because then that's how you become valuable. Is if not everybody can access you, then you have value. But if everybody can get a touch with you at any point in time, then what's the value, right? Because you're too accessible. And I know that that's ridiculous, but that's just the way the world works. Well, like, you can't call Jeff Bezos if you wanted to. Like, that's not a real thing.
And so, just think about the meta, though, at that time. Like, the meta at that time was give away white lists, get people inside of the project, you know. Like, I'm sorry, it's just certain aspects are a part of the culture, you know. And look, it's easy to talk as a spectator. I always tell people this. The easiest thing to do is to be a spectator and
what's
talk.
What's that called? The Monday morning quarterback or whatever.
But I know plenty of people that have run projects and failed. Truly.
Well, if Jeff Bezos came out with an NFT project, right? You know what I'm saying? That would give you access to him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, if he was like, "Oh, we're a community," and you know what I'm saying, like, we do this together. But you know, I mean, and that's for all projects. I love beats. And that's for all NFT projects, right? That's not just a cake, you know, like any project, right? Yeah, we see it across the board, right? 100%. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is something we see regularly. I mean, we're not, you know, I'm a beast. We're not here to shit on any communities. I love my beast. So.
Right. No. I know. I'm talking about perspective. I'm talking about perspective because you know, you just threw a beast out there, but like I said, this applies to all projects. This applies to Frank and the D guys. This applies to Yuga Labs. This applies to any NFT project. Like, you know, you got to have some form of governance, whether it is a decentralized model or not. There's still roles of authority and leadership when it comes to implementing actions, right? Like, you know, collectively as a group, we all hold our individual roles, right? This person does this, this person does that, and that's teamwork. And this is the difference between why teams can go win a championship, come back next year, have the same team, and not win a championship, right? Because people weren't playing their roles in leadership positions. We all have got to play our roles when it comes to this decentralization thing to make a centralized mechanism work.
I love that.
It's causing a machine.
I love that. All right, let's get to Nathan and then Mel.
Yeah, thanks. I've got quite so much I could say about that. But I mean, I completely agree. I think this space is there are more investors than there are kind of management teams and people running the business. And unfortunately, the people running these projects have zero idea how to run a business. They're kids that are working in a warehouse during the day and coding at night or doing some AI artwork. And at the end of the day, they then come up, they're handed $200,000-$400,000 of other people's money, not their money, and they waste it within a month or two. And you go, whoa. Yeah, with anything that I look at, I always look at the team first and not what they're telling me. But when you talk about do your own research, I do the research on the team. I mean, I started my first business when I was 14 years old, 30 years ago, when I'm 44 now. But and again, this is something that I was initially gonna touch on. It was something that Turbo, I think, had said about like how do you value your health, your mental well-being. I've been in business for that long. I've suffered with mental health problems, with depression when things aren't going right. But that's the burden that I choose to bear and chose to bear from a very early age. But as time progresses, back from, I'd say, from my first major business, which was franchise marketing solutions. I mean, I was the youngest ever person to run the business-to-business department for Rupert Murdoch. That was a multitude of pressure. But back then, the value that I see was in nice cars, convertible Audis. I wanted a mansion, a pool. Now I'm getting older. I'm working 22 hours a day. But I'm losing, I understand I lose the value with spending time with my family. But the fact that we handle other people's money, that's a huge responsibility. So you've got to take that responsibility seriously. And now the value we're trying to add isn't so that I can have the Lambo. That can be for other people. It's we can leave a legacy, offer something back for the future, offer something secure for investors, for everyone, and use our skills to do that. But even though you're losing that time today, and you've got the stress and the burden of running these big international organizations, your value ultimately is to provide for your family, and it's to give a good lifestyle, whoever you are. But Absolutely. you put in the time now, and coming back to it 2-3 years when everything's running smoothly, you can get the value of that time with them back again. But you've got to make those kind of those sacrifices now. But it was just something that they said about like what the value of mental well-being and things like that. That's a huge thing. But then again, I didn't care about that in my 20s. What I cared about is I wanted to fast cars. No, I really don't care what car I drive. It's nice to have a nice car. Don't get me wrong.
Just want to have a car.
But the value is, and again, obviously now we take what we do incredibly seriously. And I think a lot of developers in this space, they see money coming in as their money. It's not your money. It's your investors' money. You're in a position where you need to manage that money and use it to the best you can possibly do. And if you're not capable of doing that, then you shouldn't be in that position.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean, it was only that, is it AKID or AI that I've mentioned that I thought I would drop that in. But yeah, my main point was kind of to turbo, like what value do you put on mental health and family and your own health? But I think it is all interlinked at some stage. And I think your priorities and what you have value in changes over a course of time.
Hell yeah. I mean, that sums up basically the whole conversation.
I always tell people, would you find gratitude in the sunshine if it wasn't for the darkness? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep. I say that same kind of thing all the time, man. You have to understand the lows to appreciate the highs. You have to.
Duality. It's literally like the whole entire world is balanced on it, positive and negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people like, they get a little, like some people take it to as far as however you feel comfortable, right? But I mean, it's all around us, right? Like we put batteries in everything that is electronic, right? It's got to have a positive, got to have a negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to have these things in our life, but it's how we output that energy after we receive it, So, but Mel, you did have your hand up. What's going on? DJ or Blockhead Show?
What's going on, everybody? Good day to you. Blessings to you all. What's up?
What's up?
I wish I could have caught most of the space, and you know me. I always appreciate when y'all do these spaces, but I looked at the title and it says define value in Web3. My answer to that is you. When I say you, I mean each and every one of you in here that's making your mark, that's creating something. You are the value of Web3. Okay, without you, there is no Web3. There's no Web2. There's no Web4, Web5. You are the value. So what you bring to the table, what you represent, what you stand for, that is what's going to allow us to progress and grow and evolve. So this is it. You are the value. And I just wanted to say that one thing. Usually, y'all know I'm all hype. There's been a lot going on in my world. I've been MIA. So my father transitioned last week. I was blessed enough to make it down here in time to see him before he did that. And that next day, so that, I'm down. I'm in Georgia right now. I know I definitely want to catch up to you guys since I'm out here. And, I've had to postpone my entire life because this is priority. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Do not wait to the final hours to express your love and appreciation and admiration for any person that has developed any type of value to you. Let them know before it is to that point where it's too late. So we have that opportunity, even as a unit we are now, we have that chance to tell each other how much you value that individual. And so, as I say, it's a lot going on. It's a lot we have to do. And as I said, everything will be done to this week, but I like to try to connect with you guys. I know, Jay, you out here in Georgia. I know, Turbo, you out here. I know y'all all around. Anybody that's in Georgia, while DJ, while Mel is in Georgia, take advantage. I would love to connect with everybody, once everything settles. But it is a process. Just don't wait to the last minute to tell people how much you love them. All right? Or appreciate, or like, whatever it is,
I love y'all.
There you go, yeah. There you go.
Hey, that's what it is, man. Everybody love everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody love everybody.
That's it.
Man, what a great conversation today, bro.
I kind of
I did post up into the
go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did post up into the Nest, the YouTube channel. If you guys have not done so, please, if you would like to, go subscribe to the channel, give that a thumbs up. We are working to get our 5,000 like hours so we can begin to monetize the station, continue to bring value to everybody. So please do that.
I'll run the computer for you and let it just run the channel.
My guy, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Web3 Breakfast, defining value in Web3. My whole thing is your credit is your contribution, right? So like what Mel said, you are the value in Web3. Just make sure that you use it and make sure that you become it and realize your potential, because that is the value. You are the value in you. So come back tomorrow. We probably are going to talk more about this kind of stuff. I think, we just kind of scratched the surface on this whole thing. So y'all have a great day. You got AJ show coming up in about 30 minutes. So make sure you tune into that. We got Ben at 11:30 and then Crypto Crossfire at 4 p.m. Eastern. So we will see y'all throughout the day. Adios.